Have you ever felt like everything in your life is quietly collapsing, piece by piece, while you stand there unable to stop it? There are moments when your heart feels heavy for no clear reason, when your chest tightens with worries you cannot even explain. You turn to Allah, you raise your hands in sincere dua, your voice trembling with hope. Yet days pass, weeks pass, and nothing seems to change. It begins to feel as if your prayers are unheard, as if the silence itself is an answer you don't understand. And in the middle of all this, you still show up for the world. You smile in front of people, you say you're fine, you carry on conversations. But deep inside, you feel drained, exhausted from fighting battles no one else can see. There is a loneliness in this feeling, a quiet kind of pain where you start questioning everything. Your direction, your purpose, even your worth. You may feel stuck, like no matter how hard you try, you're not moving forward. You may feel broken, like something inside you has been shattered and you don't know how to fix it. Confusion surrounds you, and your thoughts become heavier than your reality. But what if, in the middle of all this darkness, there was something simple yet powerful that could shift your heart? What if just one ayah, one divine message could calm the storm inside you, could remind you that you are not forgotten, that your pain is seen, that your story is still being written with care? Hold on for a moment longer, because what you're feeling right now is not the end of your journey. There is wisdom behind the delay. There is mercy hidden in what you don't yet understand. Stay with this message. Open your heart to it, because it might be exactly what your soul has been searching for. A reminder that even in your lowest moments, you are still under the care of the one who knows you better than you know yourself.
Not every pain is visible. Some wounds don't leave scars on the body. They settle deep within the heart. You wake up every day carrying something heavy, yet no one around you can truly see it. You go through your routine. You respond to people. You fulfill your responsibilities. But inside, there's a quiet storm that never seems to settle. There are nights when your mind refuses to rest. Overthinking takes over, replaying moments, creating fears, building scenarios that drain your energy. Anxiety creeps in without warning, making your chest feel tight, making even simple things feel overwhelming. And loneliness? It's not always about being alone. Sometimes you can be surrounded by people, yet still feel completely unseen, unheard, and disconnected. Sometimes the strongest people cry in silence. They don't show their weakness to the world. They carry their pain with dignity, hiding their tears behind forced smiles. They are the ones who check on others, who offer support, who stay strong for everyone else. But deep down, they are the ones who need comfort the most.
You may feel like no one truly understands what you are going through. You may feel like your struggles are too complicated to explain, or maybe too small for others to take seriously. So you keep it inside. You learn to live with it. You tell yourself it's okay, even when it's not. But even in those moments, when you feel completely alone, when your heart feels heavy, when your thoughts become overwhelming, there is something you need to hold on to. Allah sees what no one else sees. He hears the du'as you whisper, and even the ones you cannot put into words. He knows the pain you hide behind your silence, the tears that fall when no one is around, and the battles you fight within yourself every single day. Nothing you feel is unnoticed. Nothing you go through is ignored. Even when it feels like the world has turned away from you, Allah never does. In the middle of all this pain, all this confusion, all these silent battles you've been carrying, there is one ayah that you need to hear, not just with your ears, but with your heart. Allah says, "La yukallifullahu nafsan illa wus'aha." Allah does not burden a soul beyond that it can bear. Quran 2:86. Pause for a moment and really let these words sink in. This is not just a verse you recite and move on. This is a message directly from your Creator to you, to your pain, to your situation, to everything you're struggling with right now. Allah, the one who created your heart, who knows every hidden feeling inside you, is telling you something powerful. He is telling you that this weight you're carrying, this hardship that feels unbearable, it has already been measured perfectly for you. Even when it feels like too much, even when you feel like breaking, even when you think you can't go any further, Allah is saying,
You can. Because if you truly could not handle it, He would never have placed it on your shoulders in the first place. Think about that. The pain you're feeling right now is not a sign of your weakness. It is actually a sign of your strength. Strength that you may not even recognize within yourself yet. If you're going through this, it means you're strong enough to survive it. Not because you're powerful on your own, but because Allah knows your capacity better than you ever could. He sees a strength in you that you haven't discovered yet, and through this test, He is bringing that strength out. So the next time your heart feels heavy, remind yourself of this ayah. This is not too much for you. This is not beyond you, and you are not alone in it.
when Allah says, Allah does not burden a soul beyond that it can bear, it is not just a statement. It is a promise that whatever you are facing right now is not random, not meaningless, and not out of control. Your pain is not placed in your life by accident. Every hardship, every delay, every moment of confusion has been carefully chosen for you by the one who knows you completely, the one who understands your past, your present, and your future. Nothing slips through his knowledge, not even the smallest tear you've cried in silence. Sometimes we look at our situation and think, why me? But this ayah gently shifts that question into something deeper, something more powerful. Why you? Because Allah knows you can handle it. Because He knows your heart is capable of tahammul, enduring more than you realize. Even if you feel weak right now, even if you feel like you're barely holding on, the truth is you are still holding on. And that itself is strength.
Beyond what it can bear. These words carry so much comfort. They remind you that there is a limit to your pain, a boundary that Allah Himself has set. Your hardship will never cross that line. It may feel overwhelming, but it will never destroy you. You are stronger than you think. Not the kind of strength that means you never cry, but the kind that keeps you going even when you do. The kind that wakes up again after a sleepless night. The kind that keeps making dua even when the answer hasn't come yet. Your test is tailored for you. It's not meant for anyone else. Someone else might break under what you are carrying, but you haven't. And that says something about who you are in the eyes of Allah. Allah knows your limits better than you do. You might underestimate yourself. You might feel like giving up. You might think, I can't do this anymore. But Allah, in His infinite wisdom, knows exactly how much you can take, and He has already measured this test accordingly. So when life feels heavy, remind yourself, this is not meant to break me. This is meant to build me. And even in this struggle, there is purpose, there is growth, and there is a version of you that will come out stronger, closer to Allah, and more resilient than ever before. There are moments when you start questioning yourself. If I'm strong, then why do I feel this weak? And the truth is, what you're feeling right now is not weakness, it's exhaustion. Emotional burnout is real. When you've been fighting silent battles for so long, when your heart has been carrying pain day after day without relief, it begins to feel heavy. You try to stay patient. You try to stay hopeful. But slowly, your energy fades. Your soul gets tired. Even the strongest hearts get tired. Strength doesn't mean you never feel overwhelmed. It doesn't mean you don't break down sometimes. Real strength is continuing despite feeling like you can't. It's waking up and facing another day when your heart just wants rest. And sometimes, what makes it even harder is the repeated hardship. You go through one test, and just as you begin to recover, another one comes. You make dua, you wait, you trust. But when the answer doesn't come the way you expected, hope starts to feel distant. You begin to wonder if things will ever change. That feeling, that quiet loss of hope, it weighs heavily on the heart. Then comes comparison. You look at others, and it seems like their lives are moving forward, while yours feels stuck. They seem happy, successful, at peace, and you're here trying to hold yourself together. You start asking, why is my life so different? Why is my path so hard? But what you don't see is their hidden struggles. What you don't see is what Allah is protecting you from. And what you don't realize is that your journey is not meant to look like anyone else's. Feeling weak doesn't mean you are weak. It simply means you've been strong for too long without a pause. It means your heart has been carrying more than it should alone. And maybe, just maybe, this feeling is not a sign to give up, but a sign to turn back to Allah more deeply than ever before. Because even in this exhaustion, even in this heaviness, your strength is still there. It hasn't disappeared. It's just waiting to be renewed. There was someone who once felt exactly like you, lost, exhausted, and on the edge of giving up. Every dua they made felt like it disappeared into silence. Days turned into months, and nothing seemed to change. They started to believe that maybe things would never get better, that maybe this was just their life now. But slowly, something shifted. Not overnight, not instantly, but piece by piece, things began to fall into place in ways they never expected. Doors they thought were closed forever started opening. Situations that once caused them pain began to make sense. And one day they looked back and realized something powerful. If Allah had answered their du'as the way they wanted back then, they would have missed something far better that was written for them. Delay is not denial. Sometimes what feels like rejection is actually protection. Sometimes what feels like silence is actually Allah working behind the scenes in ways you cannot yet see. Look at the story of Prophet Ayub, A.S. He lost his health, his wealth, and even the people around him. His life became a test of patience that most of us cannot even imagine. Yet through all that pain, he never lost his connection with Allah. He never allowed his hardship to turn into despair. And when relief finally came, it wasn't just a return to what he had. It was something even greater. And think about Prophet Yaqub, A.S. The pain of losing his son was so deep that it affected his sight. Years of grief, years of longing, years of silent tears. Yet even in that heartbreak, he continued to turn to Allah. He said, "I only complain of my suffering and my grief to Allah." He didn't lose hope, even when everything around him gave him reasons to. And eventually, Allah returned what he had lost. These are not just stories, they are reminders. Your situation may feel endless right now. Your pain may feel too heavy. But just like them, your story is still unfolding. Allah is preparing something greater. Something that will make sense one day. Something that will heal parts of you thought were broken forever. Something that will make you look back at this moment and understand why it had to happen this way. So hold on. Because what's coming may be far better than what you're asking for right now.
After everything you've been carrying, all the pain, all the confusion, all the silent battles, there comes a moment where your heart just needs to return. Not to people, not to distractions, but to Allah. You don't need perfect words, just a sincere heart. Make dua, even if it's simple, even if all you can say is, Ya Allah, I'm tired. You don't have to impress Allah with long, complicated supplications. Speak to Him honestly. Speak to Him from your brokenness, from your weakness, from your truth, because that's where sincerity lives. And when you stand in a salah, slow down. Pray with presence. Feel every word you recite. Let your heart be there, not just your body. Even if your focus drifts, gently bring it back. Remind yourself, you are standing in front of the one who controls everything you're worried about. Imagine that. The one who can change your situation in a moment is the one you are speaking to. Talk to Allah like He's listening, because He is. Not just to your words, but to your silence, to your thoughts, to the heaviness in your chest that you can't
even explain. There are feelings inside you that you don't have the language for, but Allah understands them completely. Allah understands even the tears you cannot explain. So let those tears fall. Let your heart open. Don't hold everything in. You were never meant to carry this alone. Turn back to Him, not just when things get better, but especially now, in the middle of your struggle. Because sometimes the healing doesn't begin when the problem disappears. It begins the moment you reconnect with the one who has control over it all. Right now, it may feel like this pain is endless, like it has no meaning, no direction, no relief in sight. But this pain has a purpose, even if you can't see it yet. Every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of heaviness, it is not wasted. It is shaping you, strengthening you, and preparing you for something your heart cannot yet fully understand. This phase will pass. No matter how heavy it feels, no matter how long it has lasted, it is temporary. Just like every storm that came before it eventually faded, this one will too. You may not know when, but you can trust that it will. Because nothing in this life is permanent except Allah. Your story is not over. You are still in the middle of your journey, not at the end of it. There are chapters you haven't lived yet, moments you haven't experienced, happiness you haven't felt. Don't let this current pain convince you that this is all there is. There is more written for you.
And hold on to this deeply. The same Allah who tested you will heal you. The one who allowed this hardship into your life is the same one who can remove it. The one who sees your struggle is the one who can replace it with ease. He has not abandoned you. He has not forgotten you. He is guiding you through something that will one day make sense. So don't lose hope now, not when your relief could be closer than you think.
If you're still breathing, Allah is not done with your story. No matter how broken you feel, no matter how lost you think you are, the fact that you're still here means there is more written for you. More healing, more growth, more moments that will one day make you smile again. Hold on. Your ease is closer than you think. Even if you can't see it, even if you can't feel it, Allah is already working on the answer to your pain. What you're going through right now is not the end. It's just a chapter. And chapters change. So don't give up here. Because the next part of your story might be the one that changes everything. If this reminder touched your heart, like, share, and subscribe. Someone else might need this today.